Hey, good evening, everyone. I'm back for another Speed of Light talk. Tonight, I'm basically gonna explain the title of God a Provider, God a Provider, and I'm gonna talk just a little bit about where I'm at as far as my uh, move and relocation to Charlotte, North Carolina, in the near future, and how will that kind of affect in some way, and with the fact that I'm in the youth ministry, which is I will continue to be within the youth ministry here at Assembly God Life Church and Rockville, Illinois, as well as making uh, appearances at the Rockford location as well. Um, but you know the title of what I'm gonna preach today is called God is Provider, and even after I uh, relocate down to Charlotte, North Carolina, in the near future. I really don't know exactly when I'll be moving at it right now, but it's going to be pretty much in the blink of an eye. It's pretty much going to be in the blink of an eye when I'll be relocating to Charlotte, North Carolina. And once I do that, I will still be a part of Assembly God Life Church within the youth life ministry. But before I get into that, I just want to pray before I go deep into my message here. So, dear Heavenly Father, I come to you today. I ask you to give me the strength and the power through the Holy Spirit to help me get through this message and to reach out and preach to whoever I can reach out to, Lord. I thank you. I thank you for giving me to the desire to preach hope to others who uh, feel or feel bad about themselves or how they felt towards others. I hope I pray that you give me the wisdom and the strength to reach out to anybody I can with this message through my videos on YouTube, on my personal Facebook, as well as all the youth and the Kids Life Youth Ministry at Assembly God Life Church in Rockville, Illinois, as well as Rapid, Lord. I thank you for giving me this opportunity to preach this word of God of God is provider, and I pray that you'll get me through this message, and and in Jesus' name I pray. Thank you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. But this message is titled "God is Provider." I, 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 I've been looking at Bible passage of Exodus 15 and 22, as well as chapter 17, verse 7. We did, I did go over this with the other with the youth ministry a couple weeks ago at a Assembly God Life Church. This is one of the last message we were discussing, which is titled God is Provider. And what that means is, obviously, God provides things for his people. He wants what's best for his people. And a pretty good story of it is the people in Egypt when they were in slavery, and they didn't like being in slavery. I'm talking about the Israelites when they were slave to the Egyptian people. Probably a pretty good video to watch is the Prince of Egypt. I used to have that video myself, but I don't know where that video went. It got lost somewhere, so I'll probably have to buy it on DVD or something like that. So, Uh, but if you've seen that video or have heard of that video, that probably be a pretty good video to watch. That's a pretty good video to watch and to learn more about how God provided and for the Israelite to get out of slavery, how He led them out of slavery into their own promised land. And for some reason, I kind of feel like I'm in that same type of uh, situation, like me getting out of my fear of rejection and out of uh, like the environment of rejection, and he directed me to a new place, which is Charlotte, North Carolina. Um, I'd really like still keeping me in the area because obviously I'm a youth leader at a local church here at out in Roscoe, Illinois, and you probably thinking, well, how are you going to still lead uh, be a leader in Kid Life Youth Ministry if the church is in Roscoe, Illinois, and you're moving to Charlotte, North Carolina? Good question. Well, let me take you back to the title of this message. God is provider, and He will provide me with the necessary resources for me to get back and forth between Charlotte, North Carolina, and Roscoe, Illinois, as well as Rockford. They do have a Rockford campus of the same church. Or they have two uh, location, but it's all one church. It's one big church. It's just two different locations. And once he called me to move down to Charlotte, no, I have my full trust in him that he will get me back and forth from Charlotte back to the Rockford / Roscoe area to still be able to stay in the ministry and preach the message of hope, which I believe why God put me in the ministry to begin with, because that I felt that He did that because I have a lot of experience with rejection and feeling that you're not worthy to anyone, or but I know that he never reject or forsake anyone, and I am worthy to Him. And if you ever felt those things, never feel that you're like alone or you're unworthy. No, you're very special to God in your own unique way. Cause obviously everyone different. Everyone different. God did not make one person the same. Even twins or triplets, they may look the same, but they are different in their own way. That God never create someone the same way as He created uh, uh, someone else. So just like God chose first Moses, but unfortunately as he got older, he passed on and went into heaven, and that's when Joshua took over to lead his people into the promised land, and that's kind of the when I think about it, that kind of like where I'm at right now. I'm in this state of feeling alone, and I just want to be close to family, close to close friends that will lift me up, and I honestly feel that Charlotte will do that once I get down there. But I do have family here. I'm not close to a lot of my family here, unfortunately. I am close to quite a few, and I do have some friends here that I talk to quite often, as well as minister to them as well, as far as if they feel they need uh, uh, praying or healing over something. Then they know I work within the ministry now. They called on me and to see if I can help them out in any way, in which I have absolutely no problem doing that whatsoever. And as a matter of fact, it was just last Saturday or Sunday, one or the other, last Saturday or Sunday. I want to say Sunday. That I actually went to a friend of mine's house who didn't live that far from the church, probably about 5 minutes from the church, and she going through health some health problems right now, and she been on that for quite some time, and she been going to the doctor every now and then, and she actually had she actually going through chemotherapy. To go back to the doctor, I want to say pretty much every now and then, whenever she's scheduled to go back to the doctor, because she is on chemotherapy, and I went to visit her for a while. That Sunday after church, and I actually preached healing ministry for her, and playing how when Christ went to the cross, even before he went to the cross, then when the Roman soldiers were beating up on Christ, and just beating him with switches, and doing all these terrible things, and eventually hanging him on the cross, nailing his hands and feet to the cross, even shoving a spear through his rib, and he did that all for what? No, I plan to my friend who I was seeing that day to minister to preach and minister healing over her body. That no, she did that all for us. I said, he did that all for you. He did that so we don't have to suffer. He did that so you wouldn't have to suffer. He did that so I wouldn't have to suffer what I was going through during this last previous difficult time of my life. And I was saying to her that because he did that, you don't have to suffer through all this chemotherapy and all the stuff you have to go through. Now, obviously, it's good to go to the doctor every now and then if you have physical illnesses, but Christ can heal us a whole, like he can heal us completely, where we don't feel that pain, where we don't no longer need chemotherapy, or where we no longer feel that heartbreak. No, he will provide that whole healing for us. But also at the same time, we sometimes have to rely on his timing, and not necessarily ours. Now going back to the Israelites before they eventually reached the promised land, they were complaining a lot. They're complaining and wishing that there was back in Egypt where they had food and clean water to drink. All this before they were slaves to the Egyptians, before they were slaves. Because after a slave, they had everything. They had food. They had more food than they ever had. They had more water. They had more freedom than more than that than they had before. Because before all they ate was manna and they had water, and that pretty much all they had. But once once they uh, uh, follow him and listen to what he wanted to God wanted them to do, he eventually got them. Then now obviously Joshua was the one leading them, because that's when time passed on. The original leader Moses had died, and it was Joshua, his servant, who took the lead, and he carried and led them to the promised land where God had planned for them. And so how have God taken care of me through all the difficult time? Well, obviously, I went through the situation the situation of rejection. Quite a few times. Some hurt more than the other, but like I said, God is provided. If God is provided, He will provide anything and everything that you need. If you look the Bible scripture of Psalm 37 verse 4, it says, "Delight yourself in the Lord, and He'll give you the desires of your heart." That's a pretty that 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 original that particular scripture is something that really uh, uh, pretty big to me. I actually have that scripture actually tattooed on my left forearm. The second tattoo I put on my left forearm after I got the speed of light, the hashtag speed of light tattooed on it. That was my very first one I got on my birthday back in 2015. I call my birthday Speed of Light Day now. Obviously, Speed of Light is the term I use to help me get through a difficult situation that I went through back then, as well as uh, uh, future things that I may come to, and I would use that as a coping method for I know what God said about me, and not necessarily what the situation said or make me feel, because no God created everyone, and in His own unique and special way. God created everyone with his or her own special assignment that He placed in his or her life. And like for myself personally, He placed me at Assembly God Life Church in the Kids Life Youth Ministry to preach and minister hope to other young kids, or even leaders as well. And that kind of a scary thought to me, actually reaching out to a leader. But I would absolutely do that at work. I feel that's what God called me to do, and that's like my job. That God called me to reach out to those who feel hopeless, who feel a lot of pain. Basically, the same pain is just from like different people, or different uh, areas or stages of their lives. And obviously, obviously I use that. Uh, I pretty much rely and use that to help me get through every day of the week now. Like I use that particular uh, uh, ministry obviously I use the kid life. I use the kid life youth ministry, which I'm with what I'm involved in, as well as why he put me in there to help me get through what it what he wanted me to do as far as what he had planned for my life. And yeah, to, no, basically, pretty much everyone goes through hard situations, but God will take care of you some way, somehow. Uh, uh, for certain situations, you might not see why he's doing it, or he always does things for our benefit. No, he if he takes something away from you, if he asks you to give something back to him, no, he got a reason for that. It may not seem it may not sound good to you at first. It'd be like, what? Why? Just like I mentioned one of my other video messages, uh, about something that you thought that you had was from him, and all of a sudden he wants it back now. So no, I know, no. Obviously, he doesn't make mistakes. God does not make mistakes. And if he asks you to get something back to him, what you felt you received from him, obviously he protecting you for something. He protecting you for something. And I kind of wish I listened to him that very first time. That very first time when the speed of light originally started, way back in the first time it was off and on between 2009 and through 11 up until December of 2014, and that was just before I started attending Assembly of God Life Church. And God did not make me think. If He asked you to give something back to Him, uh, give it back to Him. He does not make me think. And also, he does not ask you to give something back to Him without giving something back to you in return, and that same nature. And by that I mean by that I mean uh, He's gonna give you something in the future, but you do want to continue to pray to Him about it, and believe in your heart that He will give you that blessing. But when he asks you to give something back to him, he's going to replace it with something even greater, and it's our job to believe that he would do that. It's our job to surrender whatever it is he's telling us to let go or to leave, and he will give you uh, something even better or greater in return with that. And trust me, you will feel good. That you did that. It may not. 99.99999% of the time, it's not gonna feel good when you first do it. It's not gonna feel good, but no, as time passed, and as you allow him to heal you from it, and that's another thing you got to do. You have to allow God to heal you from whatever it is that you had to give up and give back to Him. He will heal you from that. He definitely will heal you from that, and trusting God to take care of the things in your life. Like me personally, I actually have uh, uh, the from the movie War Room. I have the War Room prayer app on my phone, and I actually have all my prayers written on the in the book too. So every prayer that I read each and every day to Him, I have I have in that little prayer book journal as well as in the War Room app on my phone, and I pray those scriptures, uh, not scriptures, but prayers every day to God, and more than once throughout the day. Definitely more than once throughout the day. You definitely want to pray your prayer more than once throughout the day. You know, if you like somehow get like a text message and you send it, and you reply to it, or read it, read a couple of read a couple of your prayers out loud to yourself, or quietly to yourself, to God, and can continue to pray on it, and also believe it, and it would definitely come to pass. Like I definitely see, I definitely see myself moving to Charlotte with very soon, and I do believe that will come to pass, and with that I will continue to serve in the kids youth life ministry at Assembly of God Life Church, even though I technically live in Charlotte, North Carolina. Once that time comes, and 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 you know it, and once that time, I will feel blessed, because you know he giving me a new environment, a new uh, way of life, so to speak, as well as continuing to serve and preach hope to uh, to the youth and whoever else I can reach out to whoever else I can reach out to, or if others reach out to me, and with whatever with whatever they reach out to me for. So 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 definitely once I do move out to Charlotte in the near future, I definitely still see myself being a part of the youth ministry here at Rockford class Roscoe campus, and and also recently I have a very close friend of mine. He go by the name of his name is Steven, and he asked me, talking to me recently about getting into real estate, as far as like owning properties, and of apartment properties, and at first I always knew of it, but I just didn't like know all what it was, and now I know just a little bit more and more each time I read more about it, or listen to podcasts, or anything like that, or regarding it. I am learning a little bit more, little by little, as far as what it is becoming uh, uh, property investors, and real estate, and also my business partner, Stephen Taylor. He is a strong-willed man of God, and I met him a couple of years ago, and he is a strong-willed man of God, and we actually partnered and becoming uh, property investors, business partners, and real estate, and 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 that uh, that's what we uh, gonna build upon with our friendship and our hope in the Lord as far as being successful as well. Cause obviously, with being real estate property owners, no, that can take time and to get it started, cause you want to have like the right uh, uh, properly. You just don't want to pick one properly just to have one. You want to have the right one with the right resources, and there will be there will come a time that God will provide with the right um, business plan and deal that will allow us both Stephen and myself to try within that business of being real estate business partners to 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 thrive and to become successful business partners and also do it for the Lord. And like I said, in Psalm 37 verse 4, uh, delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. And he wanted to do this, and he was actually looking to do this for quite a while, and I recently just started getting more into it, and reading more and more into it, and if once we continue to pray on that, and obviously looking at uh, uh, properties and all these things in which we are currently doing. If we're continue to pray to God to lead us to the right one, and to get the right business deal going, and in time we will see cash flow mightily into our life, and through Christ Jesus, because we're not doing it we're not doing it for ourselves. We're doing it to honor God, and God and our Savior Jesus Christ. Now, just like when you give your tithes and offering, you're not we're not working and earning money for ourselves. Yes, we need money to live, but everything we receive came from God. So that's why tithes and offering is so important, because we're giving 10% or more back to God, because everything we receive came from Him. That's just like in Psalm 37:4, delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. And whatever it is in your heart that you want, and whatever it is in my heart that I want, I will continue to uh, preach, not preach, but pray and cry out to God that these are the things I want, and I will continue to pray to Him for it. And after I receive it, I will praise Him for it. Right now, I'm praying to Him for it, and after I receive it, I will praise Him for it, and I will I will rejoice. I'll be rejoicing in Him, because no, he gave uh, uh, gave me the desire that He placed in my heart, and it was me believing and relying on him that he would give me the desire that I have in my heart, or other desires that he placed within my heart, and also me relying sometimes on his timing, not necessarily always on my timing or our timing, because some a lot of times he may be testing you. Just like this, kind of like how he did with the Israelite when they had to stay in the desert for I want to say I want to say 40 years. That first time after they kind of annoyed the Israelite, kind of ignored God for a second there. This when Moses was still the leader, they kind of went their own way, and God obviously God was upset, and they stayed and and God did not lead them out of Egypt into the promised land until it was 40 years later before God got a hold of Moses it, from the burning bush. It was at the burning bush that God told Moses to lead his people out of Egypt, and after 40 years, obviously, Moses had a patron, and it was Joshua who took over, and he led them out, and he led them in the Israelite out of Egypt into the promised land. And they're gonna be there may be some what the good word is say what the good word is say this some blockages that may come into where God is directing you, because when the Israelites were going to the new home, Pharaoh and his people were chasing after them. So and that's where they came through the Red Sea, and 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 God called out to Moses to take his staff and just throw it in the water. Literally, just take his staff and throw it in the water, and thinking now it'd be like, throw my stick in the water, like, what's that gonna do? But once he did that, the Red Sea where they were at, it actually split. It actually split and made a clear, narrow pathway that they could walk through without getting wet or anything. So once he threw his staff in the ground, the Red Sea, once Moses took his staff and put it in the ground, the Red Sea split, and he led the people right through the middle of that pathway, and there were a huge wall of water on both sides of them, and after they after they went through that whole thing, and Moses and not Moses, Pharaoh and his camp were after them, and once they got through, the wall clamped, the wall threw down on them. It like drowned them, and it's because Moses listened and he believed that God would direct them to out of slavery and into the new home. that God protected Moses and his people from Pharaoh and the camp when the two after the Red Sea had like split and the Israelite and all the Israelites were through and with Moses and once Pharaoh and his camp came like on his horses on their horses or on whatever they're riding on, they all actually drowned in the Red Sea because at that point the God closed the Red Sea the Red Sea on them and and they had no way of getting back like on dry land like the Israelites were and so God no, God will provide a way like just like when Moses and his people were in slavery. The Israelites were in slavery. He will provide a way for his people to get like out of slavery and into their own uh, new home or a new land. Just like myself, I am trusting God that He will direct me to and lead me to my new home and in Charlotte, North Carolina, as well as believing that He will give me the right resources to be able to fly and travel back and forth uh, from Charlotte back to the Rockford / Roscoe, Illinois area to continue in my calling and being a youth leader at Assembly of God Life Church within the Kids Life Ministry because that's what He placed in my heart. Just because I'm on the verge of moving to Charlotte, North Carolina now, that didn't necessarily give me the right to leave the ministry. No, I truly enjoy being in the ministry, and then and the youth pastor and all the other youth leaders and the kids. They see it. They see that I love doing it. They see that I enjoy being around and even after I moved to Charlotte, I truly believe that God will give me the the resources to be able to travel back and forth uh, weekly sometimes, or it could be every 2 weeks to 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 be able to stay and continue my continue ministering hope, which is like I said before, which is why I believe that He placed me in the ministry to preach and give others hope. Okay, and like I said, I felt hurt a bunch of times in my life, but with God and with the scripture Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 13 says that He would give you a future and a hope, and that's one of my that's one of my favorite scriptures, and I believe that why God put me in the ministry would to help others see the hope, the big word hope, and future and the future that God has for them. Now everyone future is different. They may be called into different parts of the ministry or different parts of where to serve in the church or whatever God direct them to, because God did not make a single person the same way, and that even goes twins or triplets that they may look the same, but God wired them different and in their unique way, and that whatever we feel we need or what hurts us, God will provide that uh, he will provide that calming, uh, uh, serene feeling that will calm our fears and the anxiety of what hurts us most. Because he would never he would never leave nor forsake you, and that he will provide you that with whatever we want and or need. But but it's also our job to let go of whatever it is that God is telling you to give back to Him. Because sometimes He might give it back to you. Sometimes that does happen sometimes. But what He asks you to give back to Him, and he still might give that back to you, and and like I said, whatever he asked you to give back to him, give it back to him, and yeah, yes, you can obviously yes you can pray that if it's in His will to give it back, to give what He took away and give it back to you if He wanted to fit something. If it's in His will, He would give it back to you. If it's in His will, he will give it back to you. But God knows what best for you. He knows what you need and what's best for you. And we have to trust Him to give whatever it is that He told us or He told me to get back to Him. Well, now that doesn't mean that we'll get that same thing back. Not necessarily. Sometimes that may happen, but sometimes He just had something different in mind, or He may be taking you somewhere where the other where there's other uh, something that you had with you. He may not be taking that thing where He is guiding or directing you to, cause it may be like a distraction, like so to speak, on where He's taking you, and He feel like that may hold you back from doing what He called you to do. So that's why it's so important to let go of whatever it is that He's telling you to let go of, because you never know what He may be leading you into. Because I do feel that I wish I could have I would have let go of the situation I was going through a couple months ago. I do wish I let go of that a lot sooner than I did. At times I did feel like I was okay. Then other times I did felt completely overwhelmed, or completely overwhelmed, completely lost, completely hurt. Then other times I feel great. Then so at that point I was kind of thinking to myself like, they were pretty much when I was already in Charlotte. Like, okay, I feel good, like right now, but like this yesterday, I was just all out of sorts. But also we have to know that grieving and healing take time. You gotta allow him to work within you to get over and through that healing process that he's healing you from. And obviously, when I was down in Charlotte uh, for pretty much the whole month of August, that did that for me. That did that for me, and pretty much the reason why I'm on the verge of moving to Charlotte is to have a new life and a new uh, to have a new life and have a new environment. Cause there's nothing wrong with if you feel like you need to leave the state or wherever you're at because of how you felt or the feeling you've been having being in the area. There's no problem moving to another area. But the one thing we do have to remember is that um, how can I say this? Pretty much, we have to keep our mind uh, and heart focused on God and not other people. Even though we get hurt by others a lot, or depending on how many times you get hurt. Well, I'm just speaking for myself personally, because I felt hurt in my time a lot, and 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 in those times I really have to uh, put my faith and hope and God and what and what He wants me to do and really listen into and on where He is directing and it leading me to. Cause like people people come and go and all your life, and yet it hurts. It hurt. But we all have to know that God will never leave and forsake us, and that He will provide with and He will provide you with whatever it is that you want in your life. Now, and just remember that scripture, Psalm 37 verse 4. That's one of my favorite scriptures. I have that's actually one of three scriptures I have tattooed. That original scripture is on the inside of my left forearm, my left forearm here under. I also have a bead of light tattooed on top of it, and so no, God wants what's best for each and one of us. He wants what's best for you. He wants what's best for me. He wants what's best for your brother. He wants what's best for your sister. He wants what's best for your parents, and he will provide that provide those resources to be able for you to be able to get over the hump of whatever it is you're going through, and he will continue to if you're in any sort of youth ministry within your home church, like I am, like I'm on the verge of moving to Charlotte, North Carolina. I don't know exactly when that will happen. But it will happen sometimes in the very near future. And once I do move down to Charlotte, I will still be involved within the Kid Life Youth Ministry in Rocco, Clad, Rockford, Illinois. Although will technically be living in Charlotte, North Carolina, and he will provide me those resources on how those resources as far as traveling goes to get back and forth from Charlotte, North Carolina, all the way up to Rocco, Clash, Rockford, Illinois, to be at a Democrat Life Church at both campuses, and then he will provide me the resource to get back home at the end of the week or of the start of the new week. Then want it's time for me to come back within the next couple of days or a week. He'll provide me the resources to fly back to the Rockford Flat Rockford area to be within the ministry of Kids Life and at both the Rocco and Rockford, Illinois area. And no, God is a provider. He provides everything we want and need. And I believe another scripture we can look to is Philippians chapter 4, verse 19. I don't quite remember exactly how it's said, but it basically talked about that he would give us the I can't think of exactly what it said. I do have like I'm a memory of what it said, but I can't pinpoint exactly what it said. But it basically talked about about our need that he will provide what we need according to his word and glory and Christ Jesus. Cause what he want us to have things in abundance. Whatever we pray and ask for from him, he will and want to give those things to us, and sometimes we have to be patient on him for him to do what we pray to him for, and we have to also listen to him as he prepares us or for him for whatever it is he's trying to prepare me for before he give that blessing to you and to me for where or what he is guiding and directing you to. So, whew, man. So that's my message for today. God is a provider, and remember, he is our biggest source of providing. If we can't look to anybody, if we can't look to anyone else, God is always the one that you can look up to. Christ is the one. Christ Jesus is the one. Christ Jesus is the one you can always look up to, because, like I said, that scripture I was telling you about, I believe it Philippians. I believe it Philippians chapter 4 verse 19. I can't exactly remember what scripture it was. I'm pretty sure some of you may know the scripture I'm talking about. But God will provide us with what we want through Christ glory and his riches, and we would see and you would see the hope that he had placed uh, in your life, as well as I would see the hope that he would place also in my life. So no, he the great God. He the good God. He the a loving Father, and he's the loving Heavenly Father, and he will provide with what we want within our heart through His Word. So, that's my message uh, for today. I hope you all and I hope you all enjoyed this one, and I definitely enjoyed sharing this message with you all. We're entitled "God a Provider," and I can't wait to the next one, whenever that would be. But just remember, God loves you, and even no, we have to overlook all of our bad experiences and what he wants for us or from us, and that's exactly what I had what I had to do and naturally did, uh, or am doing now. I'm using what hurts me the most to help others. 'Cause I felt rejection a lot in my life, even from those in my own family. Uh, so and in turn, I want to use all that pain, all that resentment. I don't want to hold it in any longer. I do not want to hold that stuff in any longer. I want to use that to help others see the hope that the Lord had for them, and and the hope that the Lord had for you and myself as well is far more greater than all the hurt and all the pain that you may hold or feel deep inside of you, and the best thing to do, the very best thing to do, is to let it go, and to get it out, to get all that stuff out of your body. No, let it go, give it back to God, and and have a one-on-one conversation with Him about what He wants you to do. Have a one-on-one conversation with God about what He wants you to do, that's what I had a couple months ago, and that's when I actually discovered with everything that I've been through within the last few years, was to reach out to those who feel alone, who feel all by themselves, and give them hope, and let them see the hope that God had for them, for their time, like now, and as well as for the future. And the Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 13 says the Lord said, that He would give us a hope in the future, no matter what your past is, or how you felt about your. So sometimes even how you felt about yourself, not necessarily others, but how you felt about yourself, that God will give you a future and a hope, because He loved you so much that He would not leave you in the same state from where you were hurting from. So God is a big provider, and He will provide you what you want, and also what you need, most importantly, and as well as the desire that you have in your heart. But it's also important to us. It's also extremely important for us to continue to pray to Him and believe that He would give us the desires that we have within our heart through Him. And that's my message for today. Till next time, Lonnie Wilson belongs to the Speed of Light. God bless you all. Till next time, have a good night, everybody.